Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Marketing Blender Show. I'm Dacia.
And I'm Daisy.
Now, today we are talking about how to do word of mouth marketing on purpose. Now, I bet a lot of people out there are thinking, wait, word of mouth is just doing good work and getting referrals from it or having your name out there. So the fact that we're putting word of mouth with marketing, which implies being intentional, and then on top of that, we're going ahead and saying we're going to do it on purpose. So we're not suggesting. I love this because I'm hoping people are surprised to hear that this can actually be something that you drive on purpose.
It can. It's very common for us to talk to B2B organizations and hear, this is our main lead source is word of mouth marketing. And the question that I always have is, can you turn it on and off? Can you turn it up? Can you scale it? Or is it just something that's happening? Almost always when people talk about word of mouth marketing, it's something that they kind of take for granted. They think we've earned some word of mouth marketing. We get referrals here and there from our network, and that's a big part of how we grow because we're doing such a great job. If you're getting word of mouth referrals, you are doing a great job. Congratulations. Now, you need to make sure that everybody knows what a great job you're doing and they have an easy way to tell other people about it. Because remember, word of mouth marketing is what other people say about your brand when you're not in the room.
I agree. And I love that you gave them the bravo because so true. And really where I want to start with this is in order to start turning the lever on intentionality and making this a predictable approach or a predictable part of your marketing is first and foremost, you need to understand it's not just that you did great work and that people are willing to talk about it. It's that they have to remember you at the right time in front of the right person in order to make sure that that word of mouth actually catalyzes an interest and then a call to you. So there actually has to be a lot of different things lined up. And that's why the intentionality is so important. So the very first thing is be top of mind. Make sure that people do remember to talk about you to others.
I agree. And one of the best ways to make sure that you remain top of mind is by delivering experiences.
Yes.
That is a very broad, very vague term. So let me get specific. In the B2B space in particular, user groups, road shows are great, private events. These don't actually have to be events that you host or that you put together or that you try to fill. They can be events that are happening in your town or in your town where your customers are. As long as you're taking them to do the thing they want to do or the accomplish thing they want to accomplish, having an experience gives you a chance to help people remember how you made them feel. And remember, that's the thing that they're always going to remark on to other people. So being remarkable literally means people have something to remark on about your business.
Yes, absolutely. That emotional engagement is critical because it's just think about talking with your spouse over the dinner table. What do you tell them at the end of the day? The things that struck you, the things that you were angry about or excited or hopeful or that inspired you. And so when you can bring an emotional component into a professional relationship, you're right, it does become remarkable. And man, that's so exciting. Now, then, this is what I like so much about word of mouth, is then it's about repurposing things that you've done. Post on social media, talk about wins, and be consistent. Now, you guys have heard us say this before. Consistency is king. It is the only magic bullet, magic wand out there in marketing is just being consistent. So if you make sure that you are driving value, that you are sharing interesting experiences and really sharing your expertise in addition consistently, it helps people to go, oh, that's right. I did want to tell somebody, or I do have somebody I can refer you to. And so that ecosystem of content that you put out there oftentimes drives word of mouth. And this is interesting. It's like a little bonus nugget I feel for the audience today is that so often people say, this ad is brought to you by the Marketing Blender Lab.
Marketing is hard for everyone, but small businesses are stuck with small budgets, not enough time, and too many options. SEO, social, paid ads, email marketing, live events. How do you choose where to focus? These are the top challenges I hear from entrepreneurs. You keep getting generic marketing advice that doesn't apply to your business. You've watched tutorials and tried a bunch of tactics that didn't work. You still don't have clarity on what you should focus on to get results. You don't have enough time to get marketing done, and maybe you've worked with freelancers or agencies that have let you down. You can get expert advice and start making real progress. The Marketing Blender Lab gives you an affordable way to work with an experienced chief marketing officer and finally get a handle on your marketing. We help you figure out how to reach your target audience and get more customers, what to focus on so you stop wasting time and money, and how to delegate effectively so you don't have to do it all yourself. Join me in the lab and let's figure out how to grow your revenue faster.
Well, I don't really know the real return on investment on my organic social media or on my organic content marketing. It's right here. One of the most dramatic places people are going to see real ROI is in an increase in referral and word of mouth inquiry, and it's oftentimes tied to their organic content on the web.
I like the fact that you pointed out the need to remind people about who you are, because if they don't remember you at the right time to make that referral or to tell someone who could use your services about what it is that you do, it doesn't matter how much they like you. So again, staying top of mind, it is that full spectrum of activities from social to events to one-on-one outreach. Another really great way to stay top of mind with your market and with your customers so they remember to introduce you to the right people is making sure you're giving them help in reaching their goals beyond just what it is that you do. And you know me, I'm a networking.
You're amazing.
Super connector. This is something I do on purpose.
Yes.
And for those of you who haven't connected with me yet on LinkedIn, please connect with me and ask me to send you the article about how I made 400 introductions for people in my network in 1 year. It didn't take as much time as you might think, and it's something that every one of you can do on purpose to become the most helpful, most connected person in your network and the one that everybody mentions when it's time for someone to learn about what you do.
You know, another one that I like to do that I feel like is the twin sister to that is sharing the spotlight. So everybody talks about wanting followers or getting on podcasts as an example, or thought leadership or speaking events or anything where there's an audience, whether off screen or on screen. And one of the best things about garnering an audience is that it doesn't have to be just you in the spotlight. This is amazing. Now, when you bring in other people, not only does it make you more believable, and then on top of that, you're sharing the love, you are expanding your audience into your sphere of influence and their sphere of influence. On top of that, you're initiating a reciprocity opportunity for the person that you invited into your spotlight. And it's just more fun to go through things together because there is so much more potential when you are collaborating. So when you do have that opportunity, don't forget to include other worthy people because it's going to benefit both of you and really exponentially drive the impact that you would have seen if it was just you.
And if you want to share the spotlight, it can start as simply as giving somebody a shout out on social media.
Yes!
Great way for people to remember you and to feel appreciated. If you want to get really strategic about it, find out, is there an industry award that I could nominate this person for?
I love that
Even
one.
if they don't win. I mean, it feels good to get a notification, oh, you've been nominated for 40 Under 40 or Manufacturers of Ohio, whatever it is that matters to them, where people should know who they are. Make the effort, put them in the spotlight and make sure that they remember how important they are to you.
Absolutely. Do you know how many times I have had people ask me, how do people win those awards? And I'm like, well, they get nominated. And a lot of times people get nominate themselves. But it feels way better when you do receive an endorsement from someone else, because to your point, even if you don't win, just wow. I mean, you change the game for somebody to recognize and honor that they are in a class that deserves recognition. So I love, love, love that one. Now, one of the other ones that I want to bring up that we're kind of summarizing, well, it kind of starts to summarize what we're talking about, is systematize, right? Like, we're talking about things that might sound like serendipity to people, but they're really not. I mean, this is really about being intentional, knowing ahead of time what you can do to serve other people so that you see the opportunities. But I challenge, document it. Document and systematize the ways that you can be good to people so that you are doing it on purpose. So thoughts on that? I mean, does it feel like I'm stealing the magic and sucking the life out of this to say, go do it on purpose, go put it in a plan?
No, I will give you a good example. I'm about to, tell a secret on myself about something that I do on LinkedIn. And that is I have a birthday message that I send to people on their birthday. And it's not just hit the happy birthday button. It is, if I could say to every person that I know something that would make them take a moment to appreciate themselves, what would that be? So I have a little script that I send them. I have a little gif of Pikachu doing a happy dance and saying it's a great day to be alive. You would not believe how many people respond to that and tell me what a difference that made in their day. Yes. And it doesn't matter that it wasn't one-on-one to that written for that specific person. It matters that I meant it and that it's not just the same blah, 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 blah that everybody's getting hit with on LinkedIn every day. So even if it's not one-on-one outreach, remember, marketing is supposed to be one-to-many, and it should be something that is true and authentic and meaningful so that when you do use it in a one-to-many context, you're helping drive that top-of-mind awareness. You're helping cultivate real human connection, and that's what's going to give you word-of-mouth marketing.
I absolutely love that. And, I want to bring up, one tiny note on that. Let's say that I come across someone and I'm like, how are you? And it's because I'm reading something on their face or I know something that's happening. Just because I've asked 1.5 million other people how they are doing does not mean that that moment when I'm asking that person is, because it's not brand new. I didn't think of new words to do that. And that birthday message is such a great point because you are expressing something really true about your heart and what you want for the world and what you want for that individual person because you're not connected with them on accident. And so they received that message because they are a part of your world, even though it's the same message that you use for that calendar year. So I think that's so beautiful. And on that note, I think that's a perfect way to wrap this whole talk up is that word of mouth marketing is about as human as you can get. And so this is an opportunity to really bring out something personal and beautiful about your brand and do it intentionally and in a repeatable but honorable way that actually is good for you and for the people that refer you and talk about you. Any final notes?
I would say that word of mouth marketing is always part of an ecosystem of activities. So to your point, making it part of the system, doing it on purpose, understanding there are so many different touch points. It's not who did I run into at my networking event and can I convince them to take a stack of my business cards with them? It's about making sure that you understand everywhere your customers are so you can get your brand in front of them, help them make great introductions for you, and help them feel good in the process. Word of mouth marketing really is an ecosystem. It's not who did I run into at a networking event? Did I give them a stack of my business cards? It's about every place that your customers and your prospects are going online and offline. So you need to make sure every touch point is exactly what you want people to find, from your SEO to your social media to your website, just in general, your brand awareness. Because remember, word of mouth is, somebody telling someone about you, but they need to find what they're looking for when they go to your website. And you also want to make sure that yours is the first brand they think about when it's time for them to start their online journey.
This ad is brought to you by the Marketing Blender. As you guys know, I'm a fractional CMO, and actually at the Marketing Blender, there's a whole team of us. For a fraction of the cost of a full-time executive, you can hire a chief marketing officer to write your marketing plan, to clean up your messaging and your positioning, and to drive sustainable results. We oversee multiple partners, we help mentor team members, and most importantly, we build a marketing machine that will drive results for your company for years to come. If you're curious about what this looks like, and some of our engagements go from a couple months to a couple years, check out themarketingblender.com. Okay, so it would be silly for us not to talk about a really fun concept that you have that you refer to as the hitchhiker. And I think this happens a lot for people, and it's such a cool opportunity that people do not capitalize on, again, on purpose.
Whenever you have a really great brand champion within an organization who loves what you do and who's been an advocate for you within that organization, and they're a bright and shining star, guess what? Eventually, they're probably going to go somewhere else. They're going to change jobs. And you know what? We all have LinkedIn. We know when people change jobs, we don't always think about what impact that has and what kind of support that person needs as they're moving, and the fact that they could just take you with them. So remembering to encourage people as they move from one job to another to become your brand champion within a new organization. Fantastic way to get that word of mouth marketing from people who are already embedded within your customer base, know, like, and trust you, and are going to be fantastic advocates for you at their new job.
Absolutely. And I also want to make sure to encourage people not to stop at the decision maker relationship that they have, because all of us have that group of people that we collaborate with our vendors, with our clients, whoever it is, right? And so that younger team member that maybe you mentored or maybe you helped or that you spend a little bit of extra time with, no matter the relationship, they're going to get promoted. Like if they're awesome enough for you have noticed, you're exactly right. And they're going to remember that. And that's so gratifying to see somebody ascend and then go, I would like to work with that person again. So just don't narrow the circle of who people are looking at.
And another surprising fact that I've learned from doing so many voice of the customer interviews about how people make decisions, yes, they have trusted advisors and influencers and thought leaders that they pay attention to, but you would be surprised how often I hear that they turn to their team members for recommendations on who to work with. Even if those are junior team members, they care about what the other people within their organization think. So don't assume just because someone's not at a manager or director or executive level that they don't have influence on your behalf.
That's a great point. I mean, they were culturally vetted to join that organization, and people know birds of a feather flock together. Ask great people about other great people because it's a much more direct line. Love that. Okay, one other thing I think that we've been kind of dancing around a little bit is we've been kind of mentioning word of mouth is referral marketing. It's not exactly referral marketing. It can be, right? You know, it could be people heard about you, or it could be. So I kind of want to make that distinction a little bit, that it could be that your name has come up, or somebody directly gave you a referral. So if they are going to intentionally become a referrer, are there things that you go to systematize a referrer marketing program?
Yes, so definitely word of mouth is a larger umbrella category. Precise referral marketing, you can actually get really creative with that. And one of my favorite suggestions, especially for my B2B clients that do user groups, focus groups, road shows, they take their clients out to dinner, they take them to the sports arena, build a referral in a box program. And this is a really simple concept. So a referral in a box is a package of delight, and you build it using whatever swag you have, whatever gifts you feel like are within range for whatever gifting policy they might run into, and your best, most glossy and glamorous collateral. You put it in a box and you give, one or two or maybe three of these boxes to each of your best customers. And you tell them, we filled this box with goodies. I want you to find somebody in your circle, in your network, who could benefit from just having a conversation with us. And guess what? You get to be Santa Claus. You get to give them this amazing gift, and they get to learn about our organization, but you get to be the hero. We call that the referral in a box program. Amazing fun to put together. You get to be extremely creative. And guess what? Customers love making introductions when it makes them look good.
I agree. Any tangible expression of both your excellence through your brand and where you can put something of value in someone else's hand, it just takes on a whole nother layer of depth and interest about who you are and what kind of substance you actually represent. So I love that. And the other thing that I would add on to that is that those thank yous, right? So if anybody's ever followed the giftology folks, man, there's some really great concepts in there where you can think through from the heart really meaningful ways to say thank you when you get a referral, and do that on purpose. And it needs to have a tangible expression of that. And it doesn't have to be expensive, but well thought out wins the day every time.
It does. And I know you might disagree with me on this, but don't put confetti and glitter in the boxes.
I may have made that mistake once or twice. Sparkle, shiny object syndrome.
You definitely want to be memorable, but not for the wrong reason. Not because they're still finding glitter in their carpet.
Duly noted. I know you got a piñata not too long ago, and it did not explode. That was a very delightful way for you to get a thank you.
It was very fun.
I love it. You guys, I hope you really take to heart how many amazing opportunities are right in front of you to personalize your brand, harvest more from what's already working, and just take a really intentional eye to your current ecosystem and how you can optimize it to get even more return on investment. We would love to hear your questions and comments. And by the way, we're always appreciative when you guys send us topics that you want to hear us talk about. So drop them in the comments or hit us on social media in our direct messages. And as always, we really love you for hitting that subscribe button. So keep going. Thank you so much, you guys. Onward and upward.
We hope you learned something today that will help you succeed with your marketing.
And if you liked what you heard, definitely give us a thumbs up and a subscribe.
Don't forget to check the show notes. We're sharing free tools and resources there.
And you guys, we would love to hear your comments. So drop one in or send us an email, and maybe we'll use your topic on a future show.